I read about one man that God gave 10 apples to. And God told him that the first 3 apples were to eat. The second 3 apples were to trade so that he could have shelter to live in. The third 3 apples were to trade for clothing to wear. And the last apple was given to him so that he might have something to give back to God to show his gratitude for the other 9. The man ate the first 3 apples. He traded the second 3 for shelter. He traded the third 3 for clothing to wear. Then he looked at the 10th apple. And suddenly the 10th apple looked bigger and juicier than all the rest. And he began to think in his mind, God's got all the rest of the apples in the world as his. And so he ate the last apple and gave God the core. And that's an illustration of a lot of folks. You get to that 10th and it looks a lot bigger compared to the 90%, but you don't realize that God could do more with the 90% than we could ever do with the 100%. A man named Richard Wurmbrand wrote a book called Tortured for Christ that I read about 20 years ago. And he was in a miserable communist prison. And part of what it says in that book is that he was tortured, nearly starved to death. But they were given a loaf of bread every 10 days, and they were given dirty soup every day, a loaf of bread a week and dirty soup every day. But he gave. The giving was so much a part of who he was that he gave out of that which was given to him. Every 10th day he gave the soup that he was given to a weaker brother. And every 10th week he took the slice of bread and gave it to one of his fellow prisoners in Jesus' name. It was just a part of the very fabric of who he was. And here's this widow. She has hardly anything. And she comes and brings both of these coins to the temple treasury. Now, if she'd have given one of them, that's 50%. That would have been